Hey everybody, I would like to say shout out to Lisa Gross this month because she asked for a get ready with me video for me. This is not a get ready with me video. This is my beauty public service announcement. I would like to say, you guys all know, I like to swatch Lorac products and they come out with a lot of different eyeshadows, so I have a lot to talk about. But if you all remember, there was a time when they had the Lorac Pro one. They didn't make enough of them. Only a few people got them, and the rest of us have all been watching those people swatch this most amazing palette ever since that time. So I have found out that tomorrow Lorac is relaunching the Lorac Pro 1. They finally listened to us. They finally got it that palette is going to be relaunched on the Lorac website. They say they have limited quantities, but Lorac is now, balling out of control. I believe they're going to have enough palettes for each and every one of us to get one, and for some of us who may not have gotten any of the Lorac Megas yet, maybe they'll do a package with all three for even more discounted price, that kind of stuff, because it's $180 to get all three. I want to tell you that Lorac 1 is going to be available tomorrow on the Lorac website. Lorac 2 is available at Kohl's. I went into Kohl's. They have the Lorac 2 palette in Kohl's. I did put that information on my Instagram. Instagram is How Connie if you'd like to follow me there too, or whatever it is, I'm on there. Whatever, I think you follow on Instagram. See how out of touch I am, but I'm on there all the time. And Lorac 3 is available in Ulta, and you can get 5 times the points right now at Ulta. So I just wanted to make sure that you lovely people have that information. And to help you with this decision, I'm going to go through now and see if I can pull down some of those pictures and kind of talk you through the palette. The jewel tones on the right, it has the liners on the right, and it has your warm colors in the middle with highlighters on the other side. Okay, what made Lorac Mega Pro 1 so special is the fact that it has those deep jewel tones on the right hand side. You have every jewel tone. It's a jewel tone palette everybody keeps asking for. They keep on saying, when they came with the Pirates palettes, we thought they were coming up with a jewel tone palette. It seemed appropriate looking for gold and all that. Well, all those jewel tones are on the right hand side of the Lorac Mega Pro palette. In the middle, you have a palette that has warm neutrals, medium neutrals, and taupey cool neutrals. It's all combined. Also in the second row on the right, if you look back at the picture, you will see that it has that beautiful red ruby color that is so popular to contrast with your warm tone colors. It is that red ruby color kind of made the recent Anastasia Beverly Hills palette, because you have all these warm tones, then you have that red there so you can get a juxtaposition look, and that's what makes it work for everybody. So this palette was amazing in that sense. And then on the far corner, you have a plethora of various shades of light colors that you can use for your brow bone, for your inner corner highlight. Half the palette is a matte and half the palette is shimmer, so you got an equal balance of that. You're going to have your gold tones, your copper tones. This palette is the same as buying 2 regular Pro palettes, which cost $44 each. That comes to $88. But when you buy a Mega Pro palette, you save 25%. So instead of paying $88, you pay $59 for 2 palettes, and where you get your smoky colors, your jewel tone colors for all your holiday palettes, then you get your neutral colors for work, you get your warm tone colors, and then you can then blend all of those colors that are so wearable together. That is why everybody loved this palette. It is the palette that any and everybody can figure out a way to wear like 90% of the palette. So it's available, and I don't want you, if you're interested in it, I do not want you to miss it. Mega Pro Palette 2. Since I also told you you can go to Kohl's right now and pick up the Lorac Mega Pro 2 palette. So if you thinking the one, well, that I already bought a jewel tone palette. I don't know where you got it because I haven't seen one since that palette. Jewel tones have been left out of the whole event as of late. This palette seems to me, I can't off the top of my head think of another palette with jewel tones. We have pastels, we have warm tones, we have neutrals, we have glimmers, we have glitters, but jewel tones, ruby, emerald, sapphire, glittery, silvery blacks and all that. Mega Pro 1 is the last time. It came out 3 years ago, and that's the only one that I know of that offers it. But now we're going to talk about Mega Pro Palette 2. Why would you have an interest in Mega Pro Palette 2? Mega Pro Palette 2, in my opinion, has the best pastels in lavender, in purple, in rose, in pinks. It comes with all of those romantic colors that, to me, say date night. Take those kind of pastel-y colors from the Mega Pro Palette 2, and you can integrate them into work looks so that if you're red, you don't look so red. If you're green, you don't look so green. If you're looking yellow, you can cancel that out with those pastels, and they can become work appropriate when you mix them with the neutrals. That the Mega Pro palettes are full of neutrals. You never have to worry about, oh, it's got all these bright colors and there's no neutrals. Mega Pro Palette 2, if you need neutrals that are work friendly, make you look like you had sleep when you didn't, and in my opinion are some of the best pastels that Lorac ever put out. Like most recently tried to, but the pastels in the Lorac 2 palette, Mega Pro 2 palette, it goes there. It's highly pigmented. You get the color. It's beautiful. And I think I probably have some swatches on my Instagram. This is Mega Pro Palette 3. Okay, finally I am going to discuss the Mega Pro Palette 3. Yes, there are 3. Now the third Mega Pro palette is essentially 90% a warm palette. And I consider it, for most people, a warm palette that is much more wearable for lighter skinned people as far as going to work, as far as going to job interviews, as far as being a teacher, accountant, bus driver, that sort of thing, than the most recent Urban Decay Heat. I like the Urban Decay Heat. You guys saw I did the swatches on this channel, but in my opinion, I in no way see those bright, vivid colors stand alone as something that light-skinned people should be wearing to work. I don't think you should wear that much rich, vivid, pigmented color intensity to work. I believe that something like this Lorac Pro 3, you can use that and mix it with those more vivid colored palettes and come up with a look that can get you from day to night. And you can get first date looks from the Mega Pro Palette 3 really easy. Guys, if you show up with as much red as in the Naked Heat palette on your first date, it can kind of scary to some man who's not involved in the beauty industry. I mean, I have on color right now, and it's gonna stay that way. But I wouldn't show up on first date with this on, nor with the Naked Heat, nor with the interview. But that's another rant. If you guys want me to rant on what should you wear first 6 months to work, job interview, interviewing on your campus for a job, all that kind of stuff, because this is a completely different makeup that's not being discussed. Going back to work after having a baby, going after work after taking care of elderly parents, all these different interruptions that are not interruptions, they are part of the life of a woman. You know, surgery, getting your fibroids removed, whatever it is that takes you off to work, and then you have to come back to work and everybody's looking at you to see if you're good. You know, what type of makeup should you wear in those circumstances? And you definitely should wear some, because you want to, when everybody's eye is on you and everybody's coming up to you, you don't want that to be the time when you just looking like you barely made it in. Okay, so but that's another rant for another day. I hope this has helped you. Let me synopsize this for you. 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Of the 3 Mega Pro palettes, my synopsis is number 1 is the absolute best. And if you only have $59 to get one of the Mega Pro palettes, number 1 is the one that you should get. It will get you through the holiday parties that are coming up for Christmas. I believe this palette had that in mind, because those jewel tones are going to look lovely for holiday colors. Use them as liners. Second to that, the Mega Pro 2. If you had the Mega Pro 1, so you have your holiday party looks and you got all your neutral work looks and stuff like that, and now you want to add in some really romantic date night looks, Mega Pro 2 is the date night palette. It's got those rose tones. They are very work appropriate colors. They look really good on brown tone skins. They make brown eyes pop browns, roses and purples pop brown eyes like nobody's business. And final synopsis, if all you ever wear are warm tones, and you need some lighter warm tones, you need some work appropriate warm tones, you need some warm colors where you don't look like you might have been getting over a black eye and you still got a little bit of red and orange around the area, or maybe you look a little jaundiced because you got yellow and mustard going to work. If you work long days and nights, yellow is not your friend at work, because at a certain point, yellow and green on most people at work, at the end of the day when you get tired, that yellow and green is working against you. It has a bunch of peachy tones that have just a little hint of pink in them that pull it together and give you what I call the fresh face look. The Mega Pro 3 palette is a palette that people who own it say it's the palette that they do not put down, because it's so appropriate for work. You know, you can touch up with it in the evening and it's just gonna make you look more vibrant and fresh. So decide, do you need something where you're preparing for the holidays? Mega Pro 1. Do you need something where you can do soft, pretty liners? Mega Pro 1. Do you need some neutrals, some light tones, and some jewel tones? Mega Pro 1. Do you need to add some pastels that look good on melanin skin, tan skin, and light skin? Do you want some beautiful rose tones so that you can get some romantic looks for dates and functions that you might go to in both the fall and the winter? Mega Pro 2. Do you like purple and lavender? Mega Pro 2. Best purple and lavender I have seen. Rich color, doesn't change, doesn't go black on you, looks lavender and looks purple no matter how long. Mega Pro 2. Do you want a neutral warm tone palette that will give you a fresh face look, and you can wear it until you pan everything in it, getting essentially the exact same look on your skin, one monochromatic neutral look like you would get with an unzipped palette? Mega Pro 3. So that synopsizes that, and hope this helps you tomorrow morning for Mega Pro 1. I hope they have enough inventory. I hope this is, I trust that they will not repeat the fiasco of 3 years ago when the Mega Pro palette came out, and people who've been wanting it since that time can now jump onto the Lorac website and finally get it. Good luck to all of you. This is special for my subscribers, because I know only those of you who watch me all the time are going to see this in time to make a difference. Bye. Don't just push the charge card. Take a look at your inventory first. See if you really need or want this palette, or if you may have in the last 3 years bought all this stuff, because you're beautiful.